We're talking Golden Triangle growth tonight. Now, Southeast Texas is heating up and talks about bringing a water park to Pleasure Island or making a big splash. Port Arthur city leaders are working with investors in hopes of making these renderings a reality. A representative from a Dallas-based company presented these images to city council members Tuesday. Pretty exciting. Lots going on there. 12 News reporter Ebony Coleman joins us live from Pleasure Pier. And Ebony, this isn't a done deal yet, but we know that folks in Port Arthur are just excited about the potential.
That's right, Brenda. Lots of mixed emotions from the folks here on Pleasure Island. Some say they think it could bring new life into the island. Others say it's an opportunity to share this hidden gem.
It's really pleasant out here. We forget that Port Arthur's right there. Sometimes at night it's so quiet and peaceful.
Charles Merkels visits the Pleasure Island Marina often to work on his boat. He says he's heard talks about a new water park moving in, and he's excited about it.
It should be taken advantage of. A water park would be excellent. And even for the marina, it would bring in more people. And
the idea was recently presented to Port Arthur City Council members, along with Mayor Thurman Bartee.
It appears to be one large hotel complex. It appeared to be maybe one or two different type pools that would be there, or if it's one big pool, there's a dividing part there. And I think, 3 to 4 different type restaurants.
And with the 200 jobs the project will provide, it gives Port Arthur residents some other avenues of employment.
Everybody can't be a carpenter or a scaffold builder. But, if you have other opportunities that maybe I can learn the hotel industry and work in the hotel industry.
Mayor Bartee says the Dallas-based development group has yet to put a price tag on the project, but the city could have to reimburse the company up to 70% of the total cost.
Again, the city manager, along with the finance directors, they will then apprise the city council as to where the monies are.
But for now, it's all in the investors' hands.
It's a dream, but I think it is a doable and an achievable dream.
Mayor Bartee says the next steps is for investors to finalize designs and, of course, come up with a cost. But he's confident and he hopes to see a water park here in the next 5 years. I'm live in Pleasure Island. Ebony Coleman, 12 News.
Yeah, what's up? What's going on, everybody? It is Super Dave back at it again with the PA Political Revolution podcast, where we're here to give you the updates on what's going on within this corrupt city. Yeah, I'm here to give you all the information going on in the city of Port Arthur. Unfortunately, it has been corrupted, right? Unfortunately, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what's been going on, right? And the latest thing that's been going on, right, is this Pleasure Island fiasco, right? So let me kind of catch you up to date. Mr. Kilrap, Salim Kilrap, we gave him a resolution for the land, right? And instead of working on the land, he went ahead and wanted to go ahead and fight and get the resolution for the marina, right? He wants to go ahead and start to do something with the marina. So that's where we had to kick out the yacht club, right? So now we have this guy. We had a whole thing about this water park. Talking about, hey, this water park is going to be nice, beautiful, all this stuff they got going on, right? 2 years ago, we gave him a resolution for the land or something. We supposed to work the deal out where he could go ahead and start to do some type of development. But from what we kind of get to, right, that they don't really have any type of he didn't purchase the land, didn't really do a thing with the land. They have some marshland issues going on over there. So this deal has been mucked around so much, right? Council has called them over there to go ahead and try to get a status, but he really doesn't want to give too much of a status and say, hey, we got some business deals going on. We have to have confidentiality. But he's dealing with the people money, right? And what's going on is that it seemed like he's abandoning that project and trying to go over to the I think the marina buildings or whatnot where the yacht club was at. Let me go ahead and start this in progress so we kind of give you a little bit up to date. I just kind of want to give you a little bit of background so you ain't got to hear him talking. He pretty much not saying anything. So let's go ahead and see what Miss Councilmember Beckham, she kind of go ahead and breaks this out. I'm glad she was there to talk to the city attorney, to point it out to everybody.
We are indeed moving forward, and I'm excited about it.
Thank you, Councilman.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Beckham.
Thank you, Mayor. This question is for our city attorney. The red line agreement that you intend to get back on Friday, that's just for the lease of the 2 buildings. Is that correct?
Thank you for pointing that out. That's very important. Yes.
It sounds like she kind of hit it. She didn't notate it, but when Councilmember Beckham pointed it out, now she wants to say, hey, thank you for pointing it out. This should have been made known to the council.
The only agreement that they have received, developer has received, is a lease agreement for building A and building B.
Okay.
On Pleasure Island. And now that's, from my understanding, that's the project the developer wants to immediately begin working on.
Right.
And so that's the red line agreement that we're getting back for A and B. It's not the water park.
Okay, and then that was my question. As much as you can reveal without violating confidentiality at this point, what's the status of the agreement for the land acquisition for the water park?
So when I spoke to the attorney, this sole conversation was related to building A and building B, and he made it clear to me they want to do building A and B first, and then they'll talk about the water park.
Well, there's been, I know.
Hold on now, what do you mean they want to do something with the building, then talk about the water park? That was the whole deal, was for the water park, right? Now, this city attorney claims that she don't know a goddamn thing about it. She don't know anything about it, right?
This predates you, but there was a lot of negotiation and documents being passed back and forth about the acquisition of the land. So do you not have the status of that we can give to the public?
All I have is what Mr. King spoke to me about on Saturday and on Monday. There are some deal points involving building A and building B that the city council will need to discuss and decide upon, but they had not spoken to me at all about the water park. So I'm going to let the developer say what he's willing to say about that.
So 2 years, right, has been passed, and they have not even talked about the water park. They haven't talked about it, right? This is what I'm telling you, right? You have this guy that has so much history going on with Beaumont. He's been plastered all over the what is it? The Inquirer, whatever. The Examiner, not the Inquirer, the Examiner. Look, he's been posted all over. He has a whole bunch of issues, legal issues, allegedly, with a whole lot of previous projects was going on. Man, this guy has a whole bunch of crap going on, right? But now they expect you to believe he's going to do something here. Just like I told y'all before, right? This is not going to happen. Now you're seeing 2 years later, they haven't even talked about the water park, but that's what the land acquisition was for, right? 2 years they've sat on Pleasure Island. People, I keep telling you again, right? When you let these Kappa clowns do whatever they want, they just trying to drain the money in some type of crooked side deal, right? Using it's my opinion, right? Everything I'm saying is my opinion. for entertainment purposes only. Look, my mind may not work like everybody else. I could have some mental health issues where I'm just making stuff up, right? So let me get all of the disclaimer out of the way, right? Allegedly, these crooks is trying to create some type of deal, right, where they can get a percentage paid to them when they get off of council, right? And they using the Pleasure Island deal as like a disguise for whatever they have going on besides that, right? So if you remember, the yacht club was saying that they was trying to get their license renewed for a while, way before, maybe a year before that it ended up coming up. So understand that it's a possibility that these crooks had some type of hostile takeover planned way in advance and using this water park as like a cover up for that when they never intended on doing the doggone thing.
Well, let me just continue my conversation with you just for one more point.
Sure.
I would like for you to familiarize yourself with the timeline of everything that has happened from 2-3 years ago to see where those negotiations have gone and where they have stopped. Can you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Councilman Frank Lewis, Councilman Lewis, you like this, Hammer?
Yes, couple of sticking points for me. What will make or break the deal? I need to know the total amount of land that you're going to purchase, the total amount of land that you're going to develop, and what are you going to do about the wetland situation?
So the total amount of land is just short of 36 acres, and it's phased. It's a phased development. So we have the drawings and plans for the first 3 phases right now. That covers about, besides the wetland, that covers more than half the land, and there's, I would say, maybe more than 70% of the land after the wetland. One of the very important things that we didn't figure out yet with the previous city attorney was the wetland issue. And during that time, this is also going to answer Councilwoman Beckham's question as well. Because the city attorney has changed and there was an interim city attorney, we thought it would have been better to push the 2 buildings and hold on to the land, because it's a much bigger deal and there are so many other things to be discussed on that. So we thought...
How did the council make a decision with him to get him the land when it hasn't been discussed? According to him, this is how crappy the city of Port Arthur does business. We don't have a clue when we're doing business, right? So you have a corrupt city manager and you have a corrupt 4 vote, the 3 Kappa clowns plus 1, right? That's a major contributor to all this corruption, all these problems, all of these broken promises going on to the citizens, right? This is why Port Arthur can be great. You're looking at it right here. All of you people that's talking about Pleasure Island, this and that, why we have a diamond in the rough, all the people I've seen on Facebook talking about different forms about what can we do with Pleasure Island. This right here is why we can't get it done, because we have crooks on council, and you need to identify them, right? In my opinion, the crooks are Frank, Kinlaw, Barty, and Hamilton Everfield, right? That's my opinion.
Well, why don't we focus on this, push this faster, get it done until we get a new city attorney and keep moving forward with the discussions on the land. That's the reason we have been pushing the 2 buildings, because it's a much smaller project. We said, let's get this done while we're working on the bigger project.
Is there anything you have worked out on the mitigation side of things?
Could you repeat it, please?
Mitigation, if you're going to take out X amount of wetland, you have to produce, you have to...
There has been some studies by the engineers and also Corps of Engineers office, and there's some studies that city has done as well. There are some solutions. The designs I showed at the council before with the renderings, there were several videos that I showed. It's to build around the wetlands until we fix the wetland issues. So I would say probably third of the land is wetlands. 1/3 of the land is wetlands, and the designs we have right now is building around the wetlands.
So now let's go ahead and get it straight. You have a wetland problem, right? When he got the land, he didn't do whatever he had to do to take into account the wetland. So that's another setback, right? So I'm telling you, look, this doesn't look like it's going to happen. Hey, hopefully I'm wrong, but this is how we do business in Port Arthur.
Okay.
And mitigation was one of the options that we discussed as per the negotiations between the city. We got some costs for mitigating the wetland before, and those are still things that my team and city, with city manager and city attorney, have to sit down again and keep working on.
So basically, the land, the Pleasure Island land, before they can even think about doing the water park, right? They have to figure out this wetland issue and what the cities go give them for it and all this and that, right? So, people, you got this guy that didn't take into consideration, and you have some dummies on council and on staff that went ahead with this bull crap, right? They didn't vet this so-called developer. They knew all of this stuff, right? But again, he's telling you that he can't get it done because they have to negotiate with the city. A lot of these people want to go ahead and put their footholds, they sinks, they claws into Port Arthur property, right? And say, hey, look, I'm here now, I got it. Well, we got to talk about it now. We got to talk about what we go do. All of this should have been done before they gave this man the rights to acquire this land, the land acquisition, the resolution, whatever they did to give this man the right to go ahead and develop on it, right? This is the problem. Now he want to say, hey, forget all that. We're going to do something with the marina builders. Hold on, buddy. We have this water park that you had lied to the council and the citizens about, right? You understand they lied to some of the council members, but some of these other fools, they give the appearance that they already knew about it.
We were not able to fix these, answer these questions previously, but like I said, we're opening a new page and we're hoping to discuss with the city about those.
I need for you to visit with Joe with the AWC. He's familiar with a lot of wetland developments, what have you. And we talked about that. Another issue that I'm working on for the island, a public beach, okay? And he said there's a pool of wetlands within Jefferson County, and as long as you got enough in that pool, you don't have to mitigate. So find out if that's regulation or changed or if that still exists, okay?
Okay, I'll note that.
That may speed things up. You know, Joe?
No, sir.
He worked for AWC, hadn't missed any meals.
Okay.
Okay, Councilman Doucette.
Yes. I thought when we were speaking earlier, we were speaking about both projects. I didn't know that we were only addressing the buildings. But now that I understand it's both projects, okay? Let's take a look at what we need to do, city attorney, and I'm with that. You need to get abreast of what and where we are with the water park, okay? Because that is the project. That's the big project over there impacting. That is the one that everybody has been briefed and looking forward to, is the water park. The buildings, that wasn't a big deal. But the water park is the one I'm interested in, because we actually had advertised for the sale of the land, and Mr. How you pronounce your last name? Corrupt. Mr. Corrupt actually was the one that was awarded it, okay? And that's my concern, because from the time frame that he was awarded it, we should have something done with that sale of that land. So what you probably have to do is find out where we are, what we need to do, and we need to close that deal because that's where it all's going to start from. Okay? So let's put some emphasis on that one, and let's come back to the council and let us know where that stands.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Kraft, thank you for pronouncing it. And according to what Councilwoman Everfield did, stated, we have got to take some of the blame in the movement of this entire concept as the city of Port Arthur. Okay, and so we can't blame you for the slowful.
Now, the fool is right and wrong on that issue, right? They could take some of the blame because they did business with this clown, right? But the city didn't hold it up. The problem is the wetlands. This fool didn't do what he had to do to do his research to acquire to do what he had to do before he wanted to acquire the land, right? But now since he found out that there's wetland, well, hey, City of Port Arthur, hey, can you take off of this? Can you take off of that? We need to kind of negotiate now, right? And unofficial negotiations like, hey, look, nah, you quiet for this, we ain't doing that. You see what I'm saying? So that's the whole issue in that the whole water park, right? He didn't do his due diligence, but the city, Barty and them are stupid is dealing with this guy from the jump. That's the issue, dealing with this clown from the jump. Not that the city had stalled efforts, right? And hell, when the last time you heard Barty want to admit some type of wrong anyway? So it was the wetland issue that got this stalled. And look, the city like, nah, we ain't trying to give you come off of all of this discount for this. You the one want to get it, right? And Kill Rap, he like, well, hell, crap, well, since I can't do this right now, I'm going to go ahead and do these two buildings. So that's where the issue is, not because of the city or the city attorney. See, they like to blame stuff on people that's not here. They like, well, the city attorney didn't do this, and that. Look, they had the opportunity to do it. Hell, if that city attorney or the interim city attorney want to do it, is because they had some major issues, legal issues in it, right? So that's what's the actual holdup, and it's not because of somebody didn't do anything on the city side, because they had some issues with it. The mitigation, you just heard the man say a few minutes ago, there's a lot of things that has to take place in the negotiation before they can get that water park done. And these two buildings for the yacht club that they stole from them is an easier task, right? So that's the actual issue. Remember, you can't listen to this drug addict mayor, right? He has no clue what he's talking about.
Governmental bureaucratic movement of this project. However, as my colleagues are stating, their personal and professional.
And I don't know what's wrong with him. The guy, he know he's giving you some bull crap. He's actually smiling when he's talking. I bet Barty thinks he's the smartest person on the council, right? Look at him talking, look at him trying to smile when he giving you it. How can you trust a guy that's smiling and telling you that the city is wrong for the holdup? Man, this guy is an absolute nut.
At the moment, it's time.
He's smiling.
We have a new city attorney who is in the process of becoming knowledgeable. However, I like what you said. Now, we were all listening. We can understand what you were saying. This is a project that has phases. So the first phase of the project, it happens to be, according to your organization, the acquisition of those buildings. And the second phase, I would believe, would be, and maybe you can divulge this, the second phase would be the closing on the property. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. And you've given the council.
The Barty pretty much running interference, right? He like, Barty is giving you what he trying to say. And okay, now that's all I want to need to know. So Barty is running interference for this debauchery, right? He's trying to give the man an out. So just understand the lies and the trickery we have in Port Arthur politics when we have this clown mayor.
The information, because now we understand the first phase, and we're about to get to the end next.
Think about it. Anytime Barty is trying to give you what the developer is doing, is clearly some clown crap, right? He clearly is lying, don't know what he's talking about. He's trying to con you, right? That's a con coming from Barty. Understand, he doesn't have the mental aptitude to understand development and what all goes into it, right? And a business time frame. So anytime he's trying to speak for the developer, you can always count that as a lie, or he doesn't have a clue what he's talking about.
That you have in your hands, and within 2 months we would have that part completed.
Now he already telling you 2 months now. He's trying to give you some definitive timelines for the city attorney and the contractor to do negotiations when he doesn't have a clue about anything.
A city attorney, hopefully.
Yes, Mayor, and that's all dependent on negotiations between the council and the developer.
And following that, so we're looking at maybe 60 days, November, the middle part of November, we can begin maybe at that juncture the legal ramifications
it
of
could
review
be sooner than
for
that.
the second phase, which would be the acquiring and closing, and closing on the actual property, and then we could get to phase 3 for a matter of almost getting ready for some pre-construction and pre-development information for the water park by the first part of 2025.
Now, understand, people, what's going on. Barty is trying to give you concrete development deadlines, right? November, closing the deal, 2025 earlier, going to get some pre-construction. Remember, all of this is a con, right? Barty is trying to shut down any conversation about this, right? So he's lying to you, the citizens, about this, and understand he doesn't have a clue about the legal process, nor he has a clue about the development process, nor he has a clue about the construction process. But Thurman Bill Diablo Barty is trying to give you definitive timelines and trying to force those timelines to the conversation so that the developer and the city attorney can agree to it. He's trying to steer the conversation where he wants to go, where there is no definite timeline for these buildings or anything, as a matter of fact.
I'm just sitting here in my mind thinking about a time frame and how some things could actually happen.
Yes, if may I say one more thing. When we say phase 1 and phase 2, if we're talking only about the land, the 36 acres on the island, the phase 1 in that situation is going to be the water park, and the phase 2 was hotel, and phase 3 is the additional restaurants, etc. But you're right.
Now, the developer told you what the actual phases are, right? But Barty just made this bull crap up in his mind to go ahead and tell you, right? You need to see the delusion in the mayor, right? The delusion in the council and how they specifically deliberately lied to the citizens.
Right now we're pushing the 2 buildings because it's much easier, faster, not as many things as the land to discuss. So we're pushing that. So we wouldn't be wrong if we call it phase 1, but if we're talking about only the land, phase 1 is going to be the water park.
Again, actual phase is the water park, right? But they not even on those phases, right? Because there's so much to it. They done went to a whole nother side deal with these buildings. So he's correcting Barty. Yeah, you can call it this, but he had to set them straight on what it actually is. Because Barty just making up shit up their line.
And
I don't
last thing-
want to cloud the water up anymore.
Yes, sir.
So we go with
One more last thing, as I mentioned earlier, I just wanted to say it one more time. We just opened a new page, and I've been here so many times. My attorneys, my legal team have been here. Our assistants have been here several times too. We are still looking forward to work with the city, and I see that city is willing to do business with us. So hopefully we're going to get it done.
I mean, and I think the city anticipates working with you for the creation of this great concept on the island.
I appreciate
Councilman
it, sir.
Frank?
No, Mayor, I simply wanted to add this as well. I think in my hearing of everything that's going on, one of the things that I want to make us apprised of is that it was said that we can expedite the process by making ourselves available as well. And so if the city manager will keep us apprised of everything that's going on and moving, that we would make ourselves available to special meetings or doing whatever necessary to get this across the goal line.
Okay, and I think everyone agrees with that.
Now, look, that's not going to expedite anything, right? You just look, the city manager, council, you give the city manager what he needs to do, right? You tell him what you want to do. He's the attorney's supposed to negotiate with this, our attorney, and he's supposed to go through the city manager, right? City manager, after they halfway get something, then they can just bring that to regular council, right? Every 2 weeks. You don't have to hurry up and do 7 more council meetings in a week for anything. All of that stuff should be going through the city manager once he narrows it down, right? Because they've been talking about this. Trust me, this is not the first time the city manager or the council or an attorney knows the issues. They know what's going on, right? They know the issue with the marshland and all of this. So now they put it on hold. Now they're trying to do something with the 2 builders. So trust me, they've talked about it. They know what the issues are. So they just have to, the city just have to see if they're going to take a loss on it, right? It's just going to be about how much of a loss the city wants to do to give this guy, right? And, allegedly, people thinking this may be kickbacks, right? Allegedly. People thinking Frank, Kinlaw, Barty, maybe Hamilton Everfield possibly getting some kickbacks or doing something that's unethical at the least, right? Allegedly. So that's why they've got this guy that hasn't produced any major buildings in Beaumont. They have him over here in Port Arthur, right? So understand it's a lot going on with this deal, and the council meetings is not really going to expedite anything.
Lewis?
Just briefly, when you get your project started, if you have to move in the dirt, I'd like to talk to you about the dirt. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you so kindly. Okay, now we will move. We don't have any city manager.
Now, there you go, people. Just showed you, right, this project is not going to get going on, right? Not going to get started. They completely abandoned the water park and going to whatever deal they have going on with these buildings, right? They're going to try to hustle something with these buildings. And this water park is up in limbo. But like everybody was saying, look, he didn't get anything going on in Beaumont. He had a lot of problems with the AT&T building, whatever he had going. There's a whole bunch of stuff. You can just Google his name. Kirap, I forgot his name, first name, whatever. And there's a whole lot of legal issues, a lot of problems, a lot of bad press on him. And, this is just another issue where the water park is not going to happen. So, hey, I just want to go ahead and bring something out quick. This is Super Dave with the PA Political Revolution podcast. And people, I need you to go out and share this. Like, share it, tell everybody what's going on. Hey, and get people to subscribe to the page. If y'all can do so kindly, I would very much appreciate it. Until the next time, take it easy. Peace, and I salute you all out there.